Hey guys, today we are going to check out these two attachments for the KitchenAid mixer. As you can see, it comes in two different packages. So we have the shredder for grating cheese and things like that, slicer, and two different size shreds, as well as what they call the food pusher. And then we have the meat grinder attachment for grounding meat, vegetables, cheese, and also making your own sausages. Let's unbox them both. Okay, we have the meat pusher. We have the brush. We have the hopper or the feeder, you can call it that. Right, so you place your food in there, feeds down into here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3 size, I'm going to call them extruders. And we have the grinder itself. Okay, with the blade and the attachment to grind your meat. There we go. So it's heavy duty. And also we have here an additional blade, a more coarse ground beef attachment, a finer attachment, and then what I presume is the sausage attachment. Now we'll unbox the other one. Here we have another cleaning brush. These are handy. And then we have the grater with the food pusher as well. And again, the other one is made of metal, and this is of course made of plastic. So we have the food pusher here, the slicer blade, sort of a drum approach here. So we would lift this up, pop this in, and then we're just using this little lever to lock and unlock here. And then you have it in, so you have your slicer attachment, your coarse grated. This is for shredding like your pizza cheese, things like that. You can also shred carrots and vegetables. And this is your finer grater, which you could use for things like Parmesan cheese or even finer carrots or other vegetables like that. So a lot of pieces here, a lot to digest, but we're going to go test it out in the kitchen. To test the attachments, I started off with a few things that I require for making pizza. First, grating cheese. That is the main reason I got this. Parmesan cheese, this is Locatelli, and it chewed right through there without an issue. Very easy to grate and saved me a lot of time and hassle. Next up, I wanted to grate some mozzarella cheese. I'll add that grating this was not optimal. This was left out at room temperature for a little while ahead of this test, and it did just fine. But I would recommend, if you're going to grate mozzarella cheese, put it in the fridge, take it out very cold, even freeze it a little bit if you have to, and it'll still go through. Next, we're making some sauce. I like doing it this way because of the texture that it comes out with. When you compare it to, say, an immersion blender, I really do like how it comes out. It's sort of an old-fashioned way of doing it, but making pizza sauce, very easy. Also, if you want to add herbs and spices, you can get a good mix on this without dissolving all the herbs and spices with the hand blender. So next up, we're just going to grind some meat. This was actually sausage that was in the casing already, but just to give you an idea of how it performs, we just ran it through. All right, guys, so here's the bottom line on the two attachments. It's a pizza maker's dream. Oh, man. All right, guys, so here's the bottom line. This set is a pizza maker's dream, right? So I'm hand grinding my cheese, shredding the knuckles, doing that by hand. This is a lot faster, a lot more consistent, and just a much more pleasant way to grate your cheese. Also, the Parmesan, I couldn't believe how easily it chewed through that, got through it. And all the grinding the tomato sauce was great because it gives you a little bit more rustic sauce. I like a little bit of texture to my sauce. When you hit it with the immersion blender, it tends to turn into a milkshake a little bit. Plus, it introduces a lot of air into the sauce. So really prefer this more old-fashioned way. This is how my grandmother used to do it when she would can her tomatoes. So a bit of nostalgia with it and using this to grind the tomatoes. Also, you saw I was able to grind meat with it, although not the ideal application. That's all I had on hand. But if you want to make meatballs, meatloaf, your own ground beef, your own blends for sausages or kielbasa, this is a great attachment for you. Fit perfectly into my KitchenAid mixer, securely, work just like I guess you would call it an OEM product. So overall, these things are a hit. Very much enjoy them, and they met my expectations.